and gentlemen, my name is John Gray, and this is Just Plain Living.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller. And I'm not sure that I'm glad that we came on the air when we did, because John was right in the middle of this great story that he really can't tell on the air.
We'll finish that
Yeah,
we'll get
during the commercial break.
Maybe we'll hear the end of that later.
Did you guys get caught in the snow?
We did, and I was surprised with that.
I wasn't expecting it.
I was thinking, I looked out when I got up this morning, and it wasn't snowing, and when I walked out the door to come to the studio, there was snow on the road.
I just got out.
I got up about 6 and it wasn't snowing then.
Yeah.
And when I left the house.
So you think it's snowing now? We'll never know.
I don't know.
We have no windows in the studio, so we really don't know.
As I looked at the weather, it's not snowing in Nashville. It's probably not even snowing in Shelbyville.
Yeah.
It's down
just down
on this
here.
end.
Coming off.
And it is leaving quickly and being pushed out by colder air than there is right now.
Yeah, not only that, it's kind of a powdery snow, so it's not causing any driving issues to speak of. So anyway,
but it's cold. That's how come I have my sweater on.
I can't wait to get my utility bill.
I slept in a sweater. Yeah, I did.
It's funny, isn't that funny how that goes?
Yeah, I just thought, well, I'll just keep this on.
Yeah, I have done that too recently, because my grandkids love the fireplace in the living room, but when they fire that big boy up, then the central unit never comes on, and if you're over on the other end of the house, you're freezing.
Kind of cool down there.
Yeah, it does.
It is nice to have the fire, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's nice to look at when it's cold. Even if it's not a real fire, it feels warmer.
Now, do you have gas logs?
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about fighting.
No, I wouldn't be doing
that.
No.
You don't have a splitting axe hanging in the garage.
No, when I was really young, like 6 or less, that's how we heated our house, was with wood. And my grandmother taught me how to do that, or how to help do that, and I really never really liked it, but you had to do it. Obviously.
I stayed with my grandmother a lot, and she had a wood cooking stove, and I would eat breakfast, where you open the oven door. She'd let me eat there on that door, because that was warm.
That's what the heat was.
Yeah.
That was cold.
Yeah.
In those days. But we're so spoiled now.
Yeah, we are.
Funny story. My brother and I used to both have wood heaters in the house, and one year when they were building the new 9 holes on the golf course, Tullahoma Golf and Country Club, they had all these logs they'd cut down, and we finished a job, and we drove by and saw those logs and said, "Look at all that hickory over there." So we went and unloaded the trailers and trucks and drove back out there with chainsaws and cut 2 truckloads and 2 big trailer loads of wood.
Was that okay with them?
Yeah, they were just going to burn it all. So I mean, we got approval to do it. So we carried it home, and we had it cut in chunks, wood stove size, and we had it stacked all over my brother's backyard, and we had splitting mauls, getting ready to start splitting it. Well, Grandma Womack, who lived next door, his mother-in-law, a country lady, walks by, just glances down at it, and all you could hear her say under her voice is, "Hope it ain't gum." And she just walked on by. Well, we didn't know the difference.
What she was talking about.
Well, guess what? We had 2 trucks and 2 trailer loads of gum, and the first time you hit it with a splitting axe, the axe just bounced up in the air like you hit rubber with it.
Oh, my goodness.
Because gum grows all twisted and everything.
Yeah.
We swung at it for about 4 hours and busted about 3 pieces. Had to load it all back up in the truck.
And haul it off.
She knew exactly what it was when she looked at it.
Oh, no.
That was great exercise.
That's not when you lived in that isolated paradise out there in Normandy.
No, Jerry. That's when Jerry was living out on the way to Peggy's house out on the Winchester Highway.
I remember that. Yeah, okay.
And I was living on Washington Street, and had a big wood. I had a big cast iron or boilerplate steel stove over there that I heated that old house with, because you couldn't heat it with any other way.
Right.
It cost you a fortune.
That was one of my big jobs as a kid, was hauling in the firewood.
Yeah. I can remember when my buddy Kenny Pack lived over where they lived at the Pack, we called it the Pack Hotel.
Yeah. Because there were so many of them.
There was so many of them.
Yeah.
It was 3 stories tall.
Yeah.
And if you went over to visit the boys, because they had all these boys, well, Mr. Pack would make you do chores before you could go inside.
Really?
You couldn't visit. If you came to visit, you had to
Good
bring
for him,
10
yeah.
sticks of wood in before he let you in the door.
That was smart.
Yeah. They were cutting hedge. You had to cut hedge.
Yeah.
You know. So,
Well, that's sort of the way it was at my house.
Yeah.
You know, if we had
Fell
work
right
to do,
in.
whoever wanted to visit me, they just had to jump
You
in
had
there and
to
help me out.
pick
They wanted to see me.
eggs or corn or whatever it was.
So I always figured when somebody came to see me, they really wanted to see me.
You had to. Had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that worked out well for your family, though. Here's Peggy, cute little girl. That works.
Oh,
better.
yeah.
That works a whole lot better as far as
And
somebody.
her sister's pretty girl.
Yeah,
My sister
absolutely.
hated
Yeah.
it. You know, I had to milk cows before I went to school and after I got home, and my sister hated that. But it didn't bother me. It never bothered me. I don't know why.
Was it uphill to school both ways?
Just about. Yeah.
Well, this is Super Bowl week.
Super Bowl week.
Everybody's
Yes.
excited.
Yeah.
And just everybody's excited about that. And they're playing it in New York City.
I know, isn't that great? But how cold is that going to be?
I think it's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my
I can't,
life.
but you know, it's
It
hard.
seems
It's hard to
odd.
imagine
Yeah.
that they actually scheduled it there because
That's
there's
what I
been some talk, hasn't it, about having to change the venue or something if this blizzard comes
Yeah,
through New
so,
York.
and then that's
Well,
hard
they were talking
too.
about changing the date.
Oh, it's
Oh,
changing
not
the
the
date.
venue.
Okay.
No, the reason they're playing up there, they've never done it before and they will never do it again, is because New York needed to build a new stadium.
Oh, so
And
this
the
is what
league was trying to
justify
get
it.
them to build a new stadium, which is a huge expense.
Yeah, sure.
The city didn't want to do it. So they said, we'll do it if you promise us a Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl generates $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and that'll help pay the stadium off. So they agreed to do that.
Right.
I wonder if
And
we
that's
could get
why
a
they're
Super Bowl
having
here in
it
Oklahoma.
Yeah, you mentioned one thing. They have decided they're not ever doing that again, didn't they? No more.
No, I don't think they'll do it ever again
Yeah.
because, you know, I don't think that the people attending will spend the kind of money they would spend
Well,
if they were
sure.
somewhere south in short breeches and T-shirts. And,
Yeah.
you know, the players, there's a lot said about the players should be given the best possible opportunity to play as good as they can play.
Right.
How do you play when you're freezing?
And you know when
And your
you
fingers
have
are
snow
stiff,
and
yeah.
stuff like that, it doesn't give that opportunity, and it also should be a nice place for them and their families to go. It's
Sure.
like, you know, you've made it to the pinnacle.
So have
You
fun
should go
and
somewhere where it's
enjoy it.
nice instead of being punished and having to
Right.
go play in New York City in the snow and at 12 degrees, you know, and everybody's sitting out there in the stands
Yeah.
freezing to death.
I wouldn't be there in the stands freezing to
No,
death, would you?
and just think about usually when something like that's going on, all those thousands of people are there, not just the ones who get to go to the game, but there's people who go just to take part in the
just-
event of it all.
exactly.
And they're not going to be walking around the streets in New York freezing.
I know,
You know,
it's
like
not-
they'd
that
be
won't
if
be
they were
fun.
in Florida or somewhere,
Right.
California. you know,
Sure.
spending that money. They're not going. Cold beer doesn't sound too good at 12 degrees.
No, and especially in the day when the television coverage
I
of these
know.
events is
When
so
you've got
good.
Yeah.
That
60-inch TV set. And
Yeah,
you sit back on the
television
couch and put
sets
your
are-
feet up.
I think they've even had to drop the ticket price too.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
wonder what it costs to get into Super Bowl
Oh,
now.
one of those seats is probably at least.
200-300.
No, I think
it's
3,000.
thousands.
Oh.
We're talking thousands here.
I guess
so,
I'd be staying home.
so
Yeah. So, you know, we have several things going on around town.
Are we back to Tullahoma now?
Yeah, let's get
Oh, we're
back to
leaving New York?
Tullahoma.
Okay.
Well, we're out of New York City. Back to Tullahoma. This weekend is the Diamond Studded Evening.
Oh, that's right.
Which is out at the Lakewood Golf and Country Club, and it's a benefit for Trinity Life Care.
And it's a wonderful event, and it's wonderful that they continue to do that. Because
Right.
Trinity Life Care needs lots of
Needs money.
Needs money.
And then also Fran Lawson's going to be on today talking about their Burns Dinner, which they have every year. The Scottish Society has
Is that this
Burns
weekend?
Dinner. No, it's February the 8th.
Okay, good.
So it'll be next weekend. And she's here to talk about that. And we've been to that several times, and it's all kinds of fun. I mean, it's a big time. And just, there's stuff going on. We have...
I think
what is it? What's the Playhouses doing?
They were here
Walk in the
last
park,
week.
or what's the name of it? Barefoot in the Woods.
Barefoot in the park. Barefoot in the park.
Yeah.
Good play. I mean, it's a funny play.
And that's this weekend, this coming weekend and next weekend.
Just go to South Jackson Civic Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2
So,
weekends.
lot of stuff going on, and we just want everybody to be involved. Right back with today's show.
With over 30 years' experience servicing the Tullahoma area, Mike's Tire, Brake, and Muffler has become a household name in Middle Tennessee. As a family-owned business, Mike and his wife Lisa, along with their sons Jamie, Justin, and Jody, have assembled a crew that delivers quality service to go with quality products. As the only authorized Michelin and Goodyear dealer in Tullahoma, they have become the tire store of choice, being named the Tire and Brake Store of the Year multiple times. They also rent Penske trucks and are an interstate battery dealer. So if you need tires, brakes, mufflers, a battery, or maybe rent a truck, go to the place you can trust. Call Mike's Tire, Brake, and Muffler at 931-455-5150. Located at 732 North Jackson in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
If you're looking for fuel, food, or fun, don't forget the Dameron Brothers stores. The Shortstop has fuel, food, and beverages. The Breeze Inn Market has party supplies, beverages, and the area's best selection of premium cigars. The Liquor Locker carries all of your favorite brands of wines and spirits. So for all your party needs, Jeff and Jay say, come on by, and thank you for the support of our businesses. Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our segment called Police Pointers, and quite appropriately, we have the Tullahoma Police Chief, Paul Blackwell, is joining us this morning on living. And Paul, before we get started in your segment, I know that we had a very rare occurrence in Tullahoma yesterday. There was actually a homicide in Tullahoma, and you guys have made an arrest. But tell us what you can about that.
In the morning, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, our officers were dispatched to the address on Marbury Road, 819 Marbury Road, in regards to a person that had passed away. As officers were responding, the dispatcher was able to get more information that indicated this is more than just maybe a person that had passed by natural causes. So when the officers got there, they were confronted by one of the residents that lived there. They got into the house and they found that an elderly man, 82 years old, had indeed passed away. And based on some of the comments that were made by the other family member that was in the house, officers did effect an arrest and charged that family member, happened to be his son, his 56-year-old son, with first-degree murder.
I see. Okay. And he is in jail, and the bond is pretty high.
He was taken to jail last night. His bond is $500,000.
Right.
And has a first court date in February 13th. Of course, he'll probably go to court prior to that. But that's one of those instances that was domestic related.
Right.
We understand that the two of them were having an argument, and the argument turned to an assault, a battery. And we're waiting for the medical examiner to tell us exactly what caused the elderly man to pass away.
I see.
But we did have enough information to go ahead and charge the son with the actual homicide.
So it wasn't like a shooting or anything. There was
no, and we've had a lot of questions about that. Was there a lot of blood? And it's like, this is a domestic that obviously went too far. Any domestic has gone too far, but the elderly person was assaulted and it was not by means of a gun or a knife or a blunt force trauma.
I see.
So we're going to let the ME tell us exactly what was the cause of his death.
Yeah. Okay. And as I said, Paul, that's a pretty rare occurrence in Tullahoma.
Right.
Probably not domestic issues, but
Domestic. We the way the law is written now, if you have an argument with someone that's in your family, it doesn't have to be your spouse. It can be anyone that lives in the residence, has ever lived there. So boyfriend, girlfriend that have ever lived together.
Right.
Domestics have now encompassed a whole lot of people. So we have a lot of those. People
Right.
just can't get along, and if someone chooses to call the police, then we have to respond and investigate it. But yes, the homicides are very rare.
Right.
Those things do occur in any community. Anywhere USA, I kind of like to use that term.
Right.
That when the right conditions exist, or that could occur. It's very unfortunate anytime anybody dies, because they're a family member. They're someone's either parent or brother, sister, child. So we know that that's tragic, and we hope that it doesn't occur as frequently as you see in some other communities. There's some communities that have it day in and day out. You hear of a violent death.
Sure, in a big city like maybe even Nashville.
Yeah. So if you think about all those families that are being affected, the rarity here is very important to us, because it hits home.
I would just imagine that when something like that happens, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on you guys for a little bit, because I know you're bombarded by the media, including us, from all surrounding cities, probably as far away as Huntsville, and certainly Nashville, all the Nashville TV stations, probably Chattanooga.
Yes.
That's got to be a little bit of pressure on you guys.
It is, and kind of the way that it's supposed to work is, as the chief of police, I should be the one that gives out the news information.
Right.
I don't need to be at the scene of a homicide.
Right.
Because that's one more person that has to write a report, one more person that needs to testify in court.
Right.
And I'm not doing a whole lot of good by walking around a crime scene looking at what's going on.
Right.
My job is to be outside supporting the officers that are doing their job. Mm-hmm. If they need special equipment, then I intervene and help make those contacts to get the equipment. If the news media needs interviews, that needs to be what I do, versus pulling someone from the case to do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we work with Winston Brooks at the city, our public information officer, and between he and I, we should be able to get the information out to the media.
Right.
And on rare occasions, we may have a detective talk to the media. It just depends on the case.
Right.
But a homicide case obviously takes a lot of resources, and the news media doesn't always come at one time.
Exactly.
So to conduct 4 or 5 or even 6 TV interviews would totally take a person away from their job. So that's where I step in, and Mr. Brooks, to make sure that we're getting the news out.
You mentioned something else too that's kind of interesting, and that's the fact that I guess we don't think that once that crime scene is, you've done all you can do there, some of those officers are going to be tied up on this case for maybe years to come.
It very well
they're going to have
be.
to respond to the court request and that sort of thing.
There's all types of things there. Anybody that goes to that crime scene gets logged on a sheet of paper.
Right.
Each person that goes to that crime scene is expected to turn in a report of some type of what they did.
Right.
What they saw. Did they touch anything? Did they move anything? So yes, it's very long and drawn out, and it doesn't end just because we arrested somebody.
Right.
We still have to continue with follow-up. Can we find what a motive was? Can we, is there evidence at the house that we may have to recover? Are there statements from other family members that we have to get? And then we go through the court process, which, as you said, could be quite lengthy.
Right. Unbelievable. We've gotten totally off the subject that we actually came up here to discuss. We got about a minute left. Do you want to talk about the policeman more?
Yes,
real quick?
I believe we've spoken before about the 5 officers that Tullahoma has lost in the line of duty. We don't have anything that recognizes the service and the sacrifice that they did. I did go before the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and got their blessing to start working on a police memorial. And so we're going to have a meeting today with our police chaplains, the chairman, and we're going to start working on some logistic in order to make this happen, to have a monument erected that pays tribute to the 5 officers and the sacrifice to this community. And we hope to have it in place by May 15th, which is Police Memorial Day, nationwide, to where we can uncover it, unveil it, and use that for our memorial this year.
Okay, all right, and we'll talk again about that, because I know that I believe you told me about some of the stories about some of these officers that died, and they're quite interesting. And you said there were 5.
There are 5 that have died since 1934.
Okay, all right, Chief. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thanks for having me.
Like I say, I apologize for getting off the subject, but
that's quite all right.
It's kind of newsworthy there.
Very good.
We'll be right back in just a moment with more living following these announcements.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com, featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please, for the following public service announcement. He's back! The Watkins Man is back, bringing his world-famous Watkins products to 104 East Lauderdale Street in Tullahoma, where Richard and Stephanie Carpenter have opened the area's only Watkins store. Since 1886, Watkins has produced all-natural products, starting with the pain liniment and now including soaps, oils, creams, scrubs, royal jelly, beeswax, supplements dedicated to natural health and pain management, cover total external and internal body care. And don't forget the world-famous spices, extracts, teas, and cooking ingredients. With too many products to list, know that all Watkins products are 100% natural, using the highest quality ingredients obtainable. Always remember, with Watkins, when you buy the best, you use less.
To rid yourself of body pain, stiffness, and stress while increasing circulation, visit the Balance Spa in Shelbyville at 731 North Main Street. Or have them visit you at your office for a chair massage. Simon Cow and Maria Keys Gammon give a professional full-body foot or chair massage that makes you feel like new. Call owner Linda Hackle Brown at 931-639-4885 to set your appointment today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No 2 visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham, and you're watching Just Plain Living here on Charter Channel 6.
Welcome back. You're going to be glad you hung around. I'm certainly glad I hung around, because I'm here on the set with my good friend Eleanor Dix.
Hey, Peggy.
I'm so glad you came by. I never get to see you.
It's always
Eleanor
fun
pops in and
to
out of
hook
town
up.
every once in a while. And we want to talk about something very important today, and we'll start with the Rochelle building in Nashville.
Okay, great.
So let's tell the people real quick what
I'm
is
doing,
about.
what
Yeah.
I'm up to now. Well, it's always great to be back and to plug in and to be appreciative of the art community that we have here that
Thank you very
you've
much.
certainly supported for
And
so
you
many
certainly helped
years.
start it
Well, it's
when
been
you
a
were an
long time. Yeah, we were both
Yeah.
infants. I've been called into service in Nashville for a benefit for a group called the Rochelle Center that works with adults with cognitive and developmental disabilities. They have a training center there that's the most impressive thing. I was in it 2 days ago, and the clients come in and they learn skills that are then marketable in the private sector. But
Now, how many people do you think they service in Nashville?
they service 130, and it was started in 1968 by an local educator called W.R. Rochelle, and he just saw a need for this.
Oh my goodness!
This
It's a need
training,
all over.
and it's a need all over. It absolutely is. So what we're going to be doing is an event at this Country Music Hall of Fame auditorium.
And this will be a fundraiser for
It's a
the Rochelle
fundraiser.
Center.
Yes, it is. It's their very first. They do other fundraisers throughout the year, but this is their first production of this sort.
And I'm excited about this because I think we have some local talent that's going to be involved.
We do. It's a tribute to Hee Haw. And we needed some iconic characters such as
Mike Sneed.
Mike Sneed and Kenny Wren, who are going to come up and do some of their comedy for us. We're just really thrilled that we have that caliber of performer here in Tullahoma, that we can plug them right in.
That you were able to say, oh, I know where we can find a couple of funny guys.
I did. I know somebody that can do that Junior Samples bit, or the barber shop bit that Archie Campbell does. So Kenny's going to come up and do that. We have the event itself is going to be hosted by Pam Tillis.
When is this?
It is March the 4th, a Tuesday night.
It's not very far away.
It's not very far away. Tickets are available, and I'll give you that information in a minute. We have an all-star cast with Pam hosting, and Lori Morgan's going to come in and help her out, and Joe Diffie,
You know what's interesting?
Mike
We've
Snyder.
had Lori and Pam both here in our town.
We have,
to
haven't
perform,
we?
And you're a relative of Pam's.
I am
so
a relative.
You're helping to put this together.
I'm helping to put it together. I got the phone call.
Yeah.
We're going to do a tribute to Hee Haw, and we need some help stage directing. So that's what I'll be doing. It's going to be an exciting event with Brad Upton, Craig Morgan, Danielle Peck, Elizabeth Cook. We're going to have the Nashville Trash Ladies.
Oh, I love that group.
So there'll be surprises.
Are they the ones that drove the bus?
They drive the bus.
Yeah,
they drive the bus.
Sightseeing bus.
Right, right. Carrie Tillis and Casey Jones, who's a local comedian, and Jim Lauderdale. We have quite a few great musicians.
I see a list that's almost...
It's going to be a quite an evening. It'll be about a 2-hour show, and following the performance, if you would like to purchase a ticket for the event, you can then purchase an additional ticket for the meet and greet afterwards.
Oh, fine.
Dessert reception.
And where would they get tickets?
www.popgoesrochelle.com.
It'd be nice if we could put that on the screen.
www.popgoesrochelle.com.
So you can type that in yourself.
Check it out and
nice.
come up and see our local boys be a hit on the stage.
You know how much the tickets are yet?
Tickets are $75 or $100, and the additional ticket for the after party is $50.
And I think the important thing to remember, it's all about donating to a wonderful cause.
A wonderful cause. It's a disenfranchised group of our society that just don't have programs for adults with these kinds of disabilities. So we always look to the private sector. Ford Motor Company is an underwriter for the event.
Wonderful.
And Bi-Mart. So come out and help us support the community, as well as be a cheering squad for our local boys. But
Eleanor, our time gets away so fast. I know that you're involved in Washington with a similar group?
I'm involved with a group called the Interplay Band Company, and I've been involved with them for about 15 years. We train people from this same community with incredible disabilities to play rhythm and percussion instruments, authentic rhythm and percussion instruments. And they play alongside traditional musicians, professional musicians. We've had people from the National Symphony Orchestra that play with us, and we do 3 concerts a year.
Where do you do those concerts?
We have done them at the Strathmore Music Center, which is a state-of-the-art concert hall in Washington. We do them in various theaters around the community. And it's just the most amazing opportunity for us to observe how the band members with this level of disabilities can enjoy music, feel proud of their performance.
And be a part of something that's real.
And yes, absolutely. They have often been there to support their own siblings at band concerts, but they very seldom have had the opportunity to perform and feel that pleasure of accomplishing something like that.
I know where you live. I wanted to bring out the fact that her daughter, Pauline, is choreographing what right now?
Well, Pauline is living in Washington, and she came right through this system with Peggy and Beverly and Ann and all the wonderful souls that have contributed so much here to our incredible education that our children get in the arts. I was telling Peggy 2 weeks ago, I was sitting in the Signature Theater in Washington watching Sherry Edelin from Murfreesboro play Gypsy Rose Lee. It was a production that my daughter had choreographed. And then 2 days later, I was sitting at the Kennedy Center watching Craig Terry accompany a mezzo-soprano in the concert hall.
And Craig Terry went from West Middle School playing for our little shows
to the Met.
To the Met.
And now at the Chicago Lyric Opera as artistic director. So it's just an incredible opportunity that my children have enjoyed, and I am very appreciative.
Well, we are always appreciative of those people that not only are in the arts and helping with the arts, but those that support the arts.
Absolutely.
Just buying a ticket and
buy the ticket and come and see the show.
And I am truly excited about this event in Nashville to raise money for this worthy cause. And I hope you copied down that website. And I wish we had another half hour.
Well,
you'll have to come back.
Well, I'll come back.
I love what you do, Eleanor. We'll be back with more of Living.
Welcome to Merle Norman, located inside Northgate Mall in Tullahoma. Since 1931, Merle Norman Cosmetics have been researched, developed, manufactured, and packaged in the USA, using the highest quality ingredients and unmatched customer service to help women look and feel better about themselves.
Hi there, I'm Christy Almacher, owner of Merle Norman. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about Merle Norman products. We have a large line of skincare and cosmetics for all skin types. Merle Norman's motto is try before you buy, so we'd love for you to come in, talk to us about your concerns, try the products, and we want you to feel good when you leave here, so we hope to see you soon.
Want to feel good in your skin? Visit Merle Norman in Northgate Mall, Tullahoma.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Excalibur limousine provided by AAA Limousine Service, and these are the South Jackson Gatsby girls, starting the promotion for the Great Gatsby Gala that will be held at South Jackson June 7th, 2014. Get your party hat on, folks. It's gonna be a ball. What about it, girls?
Here's to ya.
All right, folks, we're back, and this past weekend was the Tullahoma High School basketball homecoming game, and our man Bob Payne was at THS to check out the game and the homecoming court for the 2014 Tullahoma High School basketball homecoming, and we'll go to that video right now.
Homecoming court will be preceded by the THS student body officers. Dean Blanks, the student body president, and Julie Cannon, the student body vice president. Now it is time to introduce the 2014 basketball homecoming court. All attendants and their escorts were elected by the student body of THS. The freshman honorees tonight are Miss Alex Cornelius and Mr. Michael Celebrity. Freshman attendant Alex is daughter of Robert and Stephanie Cornelius. Alex's activities include being a member of the THS Student Council, FBLA, and our school's theater group, the Profiteers. The freshman escort is Michael Celebrity. Michael is the son of Tony and Dawn Celebrity. He is a member of the THS Student Council and FBLA, as well as the First Presbyterian Church Youth Group. Alex is being crowned Cream Coffee. Congratulations to Alex and Michael. The sophomore homecoming couple is Miss Amber Lee Clark and Mr. Riley Finance. Sophomore attendant Amber Clark is the daughter of Donald and Brenda Clark. Amber is a member of HOSA and plays for the THS softball team. Ms. Clark is accompanied by sophomore escort Riley Bymaster. He is the son of Mark and Sally Bymaster. Riley is a player on the THS baseball team and member of the THS 2013-14 drum line. Crowning Ms. Clark is the sophomore class president Courtney Proms. The sophomore class representatives Alec Yen, Brock Holler, and Jill Rayfield will present the sash, pin, and bouquet. Congratulations to Amber and Riley. Representing the junior class are Miss Anna Arnold and Mr. Ellis Lowe. Junior attendant Anna Arnold is the daughter of Pam Brayton and Stephen Arnold. Anna is a THS varsity cheerleader. She participates in gymnastics and enjoys traveling and the challenge of taking honors classes. The junior class escort is Noah Sloan, the son of Randy and Tracy Sloan. Noah is a member of the cross-country team, the THS Student Council, and performs with the THS Aristocats. He also volunteers at East Middle School teaching guitar lessons. Anna will now be crowned by Junior Class President Macy Marin. Presenting her sash, pin, and bouquet of roses are Celeste Brock, Austin Pop, and Grant Regan. Congratulations to Anna and Noah. Our 2014 homecoming king is Justice Sheffield. Justice is being accompanied by the senior class homecoming attendant Aaliyah Brown. Homecoming king Justice is the son of Travis and Missy Sheffield. Justice is a valued member of the THS baseball team. He likes to spend his free time hanging with the crew and enjoying singing and comedy. Justice plans to study at Vanderbilt University while playing on their baseball team. The honored attendant for the senior class tonight is Miss Aaliyah Owen. She's the daughter of Julie Harper and Phil Grant. Aaliyah is a player on both the THS volleyball and softball teams and is a member of DECA. Her post-high school plans are to attend the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga to major in marketing and minor in Spanish. Crowning Aaliyah is the senior class president, Caleb Vance. Her sash, pin, and flowers will be presented by senior vice president, Hillary Huffman. And now, crowning our 2014 basketball homecoming king is THS principal, Kathy Rose. Senior attendant Aaliyah will now bestow a kiss upon the queen. Congratulations to Aaliyah and King Justice. We now present the 2014 basketball He is a member of the varsity football team and enjoys weightlifting and hanging out with friends. After graduation, Tim will also attend Tennessee Tech. The 2014 THS Homecoming Queen, Miss Catherine Crownland, will be crowned by the student body president, Dean Blanks. Her sash, pin, and bouquet of a dozen red roses will be bestowed by student body vice president, Julie King. Congratulations to Queen Catherine. Now, Tim will bestow a homecoming kiss. We now present to you the 2014 Basketball Homecoming King and Queen in their royal court. THS Student Council thanks you for sharing in the crowning ceremony.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and fine sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Welcome back. This must be my lucky day because I get to have all these artistic people to interview. I'm so happy to have Samantha Terrell Waters with me today.
Thank
always
you.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you
and
too.
You are up to different things. I know you work for Thunder Radio.
I do.
And you're auditioning for plays, but today we're going to talk about the bridal fair.
Yes.
So when is that?
The Spring Bridal Show is going to be at the Northgate Mall on Sunday, February the 23rd from 1 to 4 p.m. And this is free to all brides-to-be and whoever they want to bring. Yes, they can even bring the groom.
Oh, good, good.
Because he can test cakes and he can look at all the things that are going to be there as well.
I know, and you have a lot of vendors already lined up, and I'm sure you could use more vendors.
Definitely. Any vendors that are interested, they can go on to WMSRradio.com and they can sign up as a vendor.
Okay, and do they go there also to sign up as a bride?
Yes, as a bride too. Brides, please sign up early because you will be entered to win more prizes. So that's always fun.
I mean, does the bride have to like sign up in order to go, or can they just show up?
She doesn't have to. But if she signs up in advance, yes, she could win extra prizes.
Probably each vendor has something special to give away, and anybody knows that being a bride is going to cost you a little money if you're not careful.
Definitely.
Okay, this is the third year?
This is the third Spring Bridal Show. This is our fourth Coffee County Broadcasting. Yes, fourth show that we've put on.
Well, I think last year you said you had about 400?
We had about 400 people. We had almost 60 brides last year. So we were just astounded. It was a great day.
That's wonderful.
It was, definitely. And like we said, there are prizes. Woodard's Diamonds and Design, they have given away pearl earrings to some of the brides before, and these brides are just ecstatic when they win.
Sure they are.
And they wear them on their wedding day. They do. So.
And they can then go get their gifts for their bridesmaids and whatever. I know that I don't know if you want to tell who all these vendors are, but there's
we can talk about some of the different kinds that are going to be there.
Different kinds of vendors.
Right. There's going to be cake vendors, people who make wedding cakes. There's going to be vendors who have presents and things you can get for your bridal party.
Flowers, florists.
Florists are going to be there, definitely. There's photographers.
Oh, sure.
There's wedding venues. There's going to be wedding planners. All sorts of things that you would need at your wedding and preparing for it.
So if you're a young groom-to-be out there and you've been afraid to pop the question, just go ahead and do it now.
It's time. It is.
So that you can go to this bridal show and learn all these things you need to learn. And dresses, for instance.
Yes,
There's
we also will
people
have
there,
vendors who
you'll
have
vendors
dresses.
who have
Mhm.
dresses. And do you find that the dresses are all different prices, or?
Oh, there's going to be something for every kind of
Something
bride.
for every
People
kind
who
of
are
bride.
budget brides and people who,
Good.
you know, don't have to be on a budget. There's going to be something for everyone there. Definitely.
And you were one of those cute little brides last year.
I
weren't
was
you?
last year, and the best thing about this bridal show is that brides get to feel like a princess from the time they get in the door to the time that they
It's
leave.
their show.
Yes, it's
They're
for
on
them,
stage, yeah.
and all these vendors are just there to show what they can do for them. Every bride's going to want something different for her wedding.
Sure.
And so all these vendors are here. This helps support our local
Well, and
economy.
of course, and I'm assuming there are a few brides that are kind of clueless and don't know what to do, and so they get a wedding planner.
Yes,
and
they get
can
ideas.
get the show on the road.
Definitely. There's going to be different ideas here. That's something that I went to glean from, to see what people do for their weddings. Certain colors are really popular this year, and the vendors will know
what
that.
do you find are some of the best colors for this year?
Well, last year I know that gray and yellow was very popular.
That's interesting.
I personally love lavender, and I saw that a lot last year as well. Now, I'm not as familiar what this year's will be, but the vendors will know.
The vendors will know
Yes,
because
they
they're
will.
right on top of the whole show.
Yes, they are.
Well, that's not very far away.
No.
This weekend, I mean, we're into February after this weekend.
Right,
well, this
exactly.
weekend we're into February. So if you're getting ready to plan for a spring or summer wedding or fall, it doesn't really matter when.
Right.
Just so you get there. And I know you have a couple of sponsors. Did we mention them that are don't you have two big sponsors, or do you? Maybe not.
No,
I
actually,
don't know.
just all of the vendors who come
Just the
are
vendors
sponsors.
are the sponsors.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
How much does it cost to be a vendor?
To be a vendor, it's $110,
Okay.
and that gets you your 9 by 6 foot space.
And this is from 1 o'clock till
1 till 4.
4 at
Yes.
Northgate Mall.
Mhm.
Free for everybody else, but of course the vendors are there to do business.
Right, and that's also because we have to advertise the event.
But
And
what's so nice for the vendors is that they can all be in one place.
Right.
And so they don't have to be, the bride doesn't have to jump from Tullahoma to Murfreesboro to Manchester to Swanee.
Exactly, and
they
we'll
can see
have-
it all in one place.
We'll have vendors from Shelbyville to McMinnville, from Murfreesboro and Nashville. They're all coming.
They're all
in.
coming,
Mhm.
and that's wonderful.
Yes, it's
honestly.
convenient.
And it's fun, isn't it?
It is,
I mean-
because brides are in one of the most memorable parts of their life.
Yeah.
They're so excited. You can just see it radiating off them.
And it's not so much about all the show, but it's creating memories that will
Right.
stay with you forever. Well, any last minute thing we need to say? We need to talk about if you want to sign up to be a vendor,
WMSRradio.com, and that's also the place if you're a bride to be, where you can pre-register, and then you can be entered to win extra prizes.
Sounds exciting. Samantha, I just love you.
I love you too.
You're
Thank you
doing
for
great
having
work.
me.
Yeah. We'll be back with more of Livings.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Have you heard that little voice that beckons you to come home to Tennessee? Well, here's your chance. Here's a property offered by its owner. It's 20 miles from the National Walking Horse Celebration grounds in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and only 10 minutes away from the Jack Daniel Distillery in Lynchburg. It's located at 769 Shipman Creek Road. This property has over a 5,300 square foot home on 45 acres, and a sprawling 200 acres is also available. Let's take a look at the house. Built in 1998, this home has 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. This home offers wide open views, featuring the main floor with over 2,700 square feet of living room, an eat-in kitchen, a formal dining area, and a massive 20 by 19 master bedroom with a master bath and fireplace included. There is craftsmanship at every turn, solid cherry cabinets, built-in cherry shelves, and other solid cherry appointments. It's a 2-story home with 3 nicely sized bedrooms upstairs. Down a spiral staircase, the basement hosts a 40 by 40 den with a handcrafted bar. We're leaving the jukebox here, folks. The basement is a recreation room on steroids. There are too many closets to count and more than you'll ever need. There are so many places in this home to find peace that you'll seldom want to leave it. But when you do, you'll discover up to 200 acres of paved roads with city water. The property is quilted with streams, woods, ponds, and open pasture. The view from the porch alone is enough to say you're home. The property includes a 3-bay heavy construction shop and plenty of room to build stables and graze livestock. If Tennessee's been calling you home, start your journey by calling this number. A property like this comes on the market but once in a lifetime. We think you'll love it. We think you'll stay. This is a very real estate.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now the Executive Director of the Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce, Diane Bright, and the Citizens of the Year, Ms. Sandy Hayes, quite well deserving, I might add. And you guys just completed your annual membership banquet, Diane.
We did.
Correct?
We did. We had that last Saturday or 2 Saturdays? I swear it's all been a whirl. I think it was 2 Saturdays ago now, as a matter of fact. And a great evening. They had it here at the Legends Ballroom and had a huge crowd, 260 folks, and the room was just absolute. Uptown Delights is who did the catering and did the decorating and the place was just gorgeous. I mean, you really felt like you were somewhere else, and so it was a great evening. Lots of folks, great support from the business community. Just really a great group of folks. Everybody was there to, I think, celebrate and enjoy the evening, and great silent auction and live auction items that were donated by our local merchants, and a lot of fun with the live auction for sure. So
including Bonnaroo tickets.
Including Bonnaroo tickets.
Oh, Bonnaroo tickets.
Yeah, including Bonnaroo tickets, and actually had one great package, which was evening at Monteagle Inn, along with dinner at a restaurant up there, and then a nice bottle of wine. So our businesses really went together and came up with some really great ideas to auction off. And Jack Daniels had a great package, a premium package to auction as well. So we had a lot of fun with all that.
You know, and one of the highlights of this, I know, was I mentioned previously that Sandy was chosen Citizen of the Year. And how do you guys arrive at that?
Well, it is interesting. Now we call for nominations, and we have an executive board committee. It's not always the current executive board, but it is comprised of members that have been executive boards before. Sometimes we have to be a little sneaky, especially if someone is in the running for some of these things. So you just kind of magically form this committee and don't invite them or something. You know?
Okay.
So anyway, we've had to work behind the scenes a couple times, but it wasn't the case this year. So that was easy enough. But anyway, we ask people to nominate someone who they feel represents leadership in the community, business experience, civic and community contributions. But the business element of it is still 40% of it, and that's the key. That's the key to it. And as we all know, business is more than just operating your storefront. I mean, it is contributing to the community, and it is supporting boards and committees and things of that sort. So there's a whole lot that's asked of our business community. But anyway, so we ask for nominations, and then the executive committee will bring nominations in as well. So, with Sandy, it's so interesting because if you really reflect back to when she first came to town, she operated. She had a very entrepreneurial idea to bring. And we were talking about this just a lot. I mean, to bring a cappuccino and a real coffee shop to town. We all thought, cappuccino was the glorified hot chocolate that you got at the convenience stores, and so we learned that there was a lot more to that, and she expanded from there. I mean, Sandy's House of Chocolates, as the store grew into the first little computer cafe and a post office.
Kind of like a general store.
General store.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all about trying to get people in, and be able to take care of little different needs, but give them all kinds of reasons to come back on a regular basis.
Service. Service is so important.
Yeah. So, of course, then she moved from that endeavor into the United. Her role as executive director with the United Way, which keeps her in contact with businesses in 3 different counties, and she's been doing that for 10 years.
Right, unbelievable. Have you always had this sickness where you want to volunteer for all this kind of thing?
Thinks I do. Yeah, he keeps telling me the word is no. But it's just hard for me. If somebody asks me to do something, I figure, well, I can work that in. So.
Right.
Well, and then that even shifts over to support for just individual organizations and individuals. I mean, we've had some rough times at the chamber this year, and one day, I mean, I needed some help to keep the doors open, and I called up Sandy, and she just comes on down and brings her paperwork and stayed in the office and answered the phone and just took care of things while I was out at meetings and things of that sort. So, I mean, she's always the one that you can rely on, and she's been active with the Rotary clubs. I'm active in her church choir, and so I think the committee felt very strongly that that she was very deserving of this award.
I'm a past
president of the chamber. Right. We had that wonderful opportunity to work together on that last air show, which was big fun. And Sandy, early on, when other people thought it couldn't be done, she said, "No, we can do this. We can do this." So,
well, congratulations, Sandy. I mean, I can think of no one who is more deserving of that. I've always wondered, did you live in Alaska with RJ?
Yes, I did.
You did?
14 years.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We were here before that. We lived here about 4 years, and then we went to Alaska and stayed 14, and then always wanted to come back.
I mean, someone who is as active and into everything as you are, did you find plenty to do when you were in Alaska?
Oh, I lucked into a really great job, and for a company that just gave me, I could do anything I needed to do. They had a lot of money, and I was the vice president of administration, so he would let me go out and buy, $100,000 worth of paintings, just for the office.
Oh, my goodness.
And when I had a picnic, I'd spend $10,000, but they had a lot of money, and they just let me do as I needed to do.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well,
she's had to learn to do with less, I promise you, in this market.
That was a shock when I came back.
Yeah, okay, well, back to reality.
She's had to learn to do with less.
Yeah.
But we had several other awards that we did that night. We had our Ambassador of the Year award, which was actually awarded to 2 individuals, James Fuller of American City Bank and Tisha Fritz with The Exchange. So they were honored as our Ambassadors of the Year. And then from there, we had the Extra Miler of the Year, which was Joe Denby with A1 Moving and Storage. He has just stepped up this year, and he always is one of these people that works behind the scenes. But I think he really saw a couple of big needs and threw together some great little fundraisers. The last example, of course, would be the one that he did for the Tullahoma daycare. In 18 days, he threw all of this together. So. And then from there, we had our Clyde Phillips Business of the Year, which was Community Cancer Care. And then we had our Loretta Welsh CEO Business Partner of the Year, which was Chick-fil-A. And then our new award that we started last year, which is our Rising Star Award. And it really goes in and tries to recognize somebody new to the business community, but someone that is rising in their profession as well as in their involvement in the community. And that was Dolly McNabb with the Stan McNabb Automotive Group.
Okay. Well, I have to say that you guys made some excellent choices there. By the way, folks who ask me this all the time, James Fuller is not my son. So
I actually asked him that.
I mean, he's about 6'5". Look at me. I mean, for goodness sakes.
I love it.
Well, so, a great membership banquet as always. And I know you guys are looking forward to moving forward into another successful year.
No, we are. We're fired up and ready to go.
And a big coffee today, too.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
that's right.
The Exchange will be having at the Beechcraft museum. So we've got a big morning planned.
Okay, outstanding as always. They're staying busy. Again, congratulations to you, Sandy, and thank you for all you do, Diane, and for being such a great co-host when you come on this show. It's always fun because I don't have to know anything. You know, I just sort of sit up here. All right, we'll be right back in just a moment, folks. Right after these messages.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senior. See? Martin Senior. Right there. Martin Senior at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
Today's Charter tip: set up your parental controls. Children don't always know what they should and shouldn't watch, but parents do, and Charter can help. Charter's parental controls are easy to set up. All you need is a 4-digit PIN. Then you can lock specific titles, channels, and show ratings. Even hide program titles and block paid programming purchases. Family protection in just 4 digits. Another way Charter gives you more. Visit charter.net/tips to get started.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm proud to have with me today Miss Fran Lawson, and she is here representing the Highland Rim Scottish Society, and you are getting ready to have your annual Burns Dinner.
Yes, we are.
And I think that's on February the 8th?
A week from this Saturday.
Week from Saturday, and that'll be at Lakewood Golf and Country Club?
Yes.
Is that where we're having it this year?
Yes.
Give our audience a little rundown on what goes on during a Burns Dinner.
Well, the object is to commemorate Robert Burns. This is around the time of his birthday. Actually, he was born January 25th, so we just had his birthday. But around the time of his birthday, there are Burns dinners held all over the world. There are Burns nights in China, even. A year after Robert Burns died, and he died at the age of 37, although he had already made a name for himself with his gilded tongue and his pen. But a year after he died, friends met to memorialize him, to talk about him, to share memories. And that started it all, because every year since then, it has grown into a night, as I said, is celebrated all over the world. The Highland Rim Scottish Society was formed here in late 1995 by Jim Murray, and in January 1996, they had their first Burns Dinner, and we've had one ever since. Now, what goes on there is, because it is a birthday party, and it is to immortalize and commemorate Robert Burns, there's Burns poetry recited. The address to the haggis is always a big part, and that was written by Robert Burns.
And that is wonderful.
The haggis or the address?
Both. It's all good. I never thought I'd want to eat something stuffed down
You can't say that on TV.
No,
Okay.
intestine, but that's there. It's not quite original.
No, the FDA in this country won't allow original, so it's not quite original. But we try to keep it as close to what was intended. Haggis was something that the Scots, who are known to be very frugal and very saving of resources, when the sheep was killed, you didn't throw anything away. So the bonny lasses, head of the households, lasses are the head of the household.
Mm-hmm. Well, they still are.
Would take the heart and the lungs and the kidneys and all those things that we discard in this country and chop them up, add some oatmeal and some spices, and then, as John said, stuff them into the stomach. They clean it, turn it, stuff it into the stomach, and then boil it and then eat it. They would save it in smaller sizes to send out with their husbands when they went out to work the next day. But it was
a staple.
It was a staple, and it was actually, if you took a little time with the mixing and the spices, it was very good. And we've not had anybody come to our Burns dinners who has agreed to taste it, who hasn't liked it. The thought of what they could be eating turns some people off, and so they won't even taste it. But for the most part, and it's we actually have a little bit of a fight. Our oldest son is one of the fighters over who gets to take home the leftovers.
Right. Well, we were there last year, and I was looking for some of the film that I took there that night because we played it on one of the shows, and I was looking this morning for it and I couldn't find it. But the pageantry of what takes place there is really quite formal in some senses. When the bagpipes come in, and then there's certain ones, and I don't know whether they're club officers or what, but they file around the room and bagpipes are being played, and the dress, a lot of people are there in that dress, and all have their tartans and their kilts, and it's just really quite a regal thing to view as it's taking place. And then, like you said, there was a gentleman there last year who recited a rather long poem.
Tam O'Shanter.
Yes, and he was, and this was about a 15-minute long dissertation of Burns, one of his longer poems, and it was just incredible, the dialect that he used, and then your husband Chuck did the tribute to the haggis,
the address to the haggis,
and then there was the wonderful young lady who dances at a lot of your events, who was there and did the Dance of the Swords. And the food was great, the haggis was good, the company was wonderful. We sat with a lady and gentleman who have a dance school, I believe,
harp school
in Chattanooga. Mm-hmm. Had a harp school in Chattanooga who teach that type of harping. And I don't know, I was just really, it was a wonderful time. It was a very enjoyable time.
And that's something, when the Burns dinners here with the Highland Room Scottish Society were first started, the idea was it was to have a social gathering for everybody to get together, commemorate our beloved Bard, but also just have an evening of fun and fellowship. And it was never intended to be a fundraiser. We don't want to make money on Burns. We want Burns to pay for itself. And that has remained the goal I became the Burns chairman about 10 years ago, and I stuck with that. But we started realizing as it kept growing, in 1 year we went from 34 people present to 134. As it was growing, we were coming up with a little extra money, and we thought, okay, now what are we going to do? And the big piece of the evening for raising money is the silent auction. And the only thing that we insist, if it's going in our silent auction, is there be a Scottish connection. But we were making more and more on that, so we decided to set up a scholarship fund. And so all the monies made from the silent auction at Burns go into the scholarship fund. 1 year we were able to give 4 scholarships, 3 Pipers and 1 Harper. For the last 5 years we have given the Highland Dance Scholarship to Miss Katie, who is delightful, and has progressed all the way up to dancing to now becoming a Highland Dance instructor. The thing that John mentioned, the Tam O'Shanter recitation, that's what we brought in last year for the immortal memory. There's always an immortal memory to Robert Burns at these things. 2 years ago, our Harper did the immortal memory in song, and she was just received beautifully. And she said that there was so much to know about Burns, and that she became so in love with Burns that she actually had to chop material to get it all in. And so we told her we had already planned last year. She's coming back this year. So we'll have another immortal memory in music.
Well, that's great. And, you know, I want to tell all you folks out there, if you've not done this, and you allow people to come who aren't Scottish.
We have people in the Scottish Society who aren't Scottish.
Right. And
you just have to have that interest.
But I just want to say, if it's something that you haven't done, it might be something that you want to do, because when I went, I learned so much about stuff that you don't normally go out and research, and it was just so interesting to me, and everybody was so nice, and we had a great time. The food was good, the company was great, and the entertainment was flawless. And that is February the 8th. And how can someone get in touch with you to get a ticket?
You can go to our website. Or you can call me at 455-2925, or email me at falawson@lighttube.net, or contact anyone who looks like they are a wee bit Scottish and probably a member, and they can tell you. We have these folders out at different places. They're out at the Celtic Cup, and we would just love to have you. Just love to have you.
Somewhere, if you can't remember any or all of that, go by the Celtic Cup, and they will be able to tell you exactly what to do.
Right.
Fran, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
And thank you so much for doing what you do, because without folks like you and Chuck and the rest of you, you know, that would be a part of society that a whole lot of us would never get to see. And you do a wonderful job in presenting it.
Thank you.
All right. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing. Or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
The Charter Triple Play lets you experience TV, internet, and phone the way you want with no contracts. Hooked on HD? Now over 100 HD channels available. Movie lover? Get 10,000 on-demand movies and shows. 1,500 in HD, including movies in 3D. Missing your favorite shows? Record and watch TV with DVR service for 4 rooms and over 780 hours of storage space. Get Charter TV for $29.99 a month. Photo Fiend, Music Fan, Video Streamer? Switch to super fast Charter Internet and do it all with the bandwidth to support all your devices. At 30 megabits per second, Charter Internet is 10 times faster than the phone company's DSL. Get Charter Internet for $29.99 a month. Want more talk for less? Charter Phone has unlimited long-distance calling with no added fees like the phone company charges. Get Charter Phone for $29.99 a month. The new Charter Triple Play. TV, internet, and phone for just $29.99 a month each when bundled. Call 855-81-T-PLAY now.
All right, we are back, and we've learned all kinds of stuff.
Lots of things going on. I don't see how we get to go to everything. You know, there's so much happening.
There's a lot of stuff happening, and I was very impressed with what Eleanor had to say about what she's doing.
Oh, yeah. That is a very worthy cause. Because there's a lot of challenged people that could be working or could be playing instruments. There's a lot of things they could be doing that they haven't been worked with.
Right.
And that's all it takes.
And I don't think that many of our audience understand probably Eleanor's journey from where when she left here and what she was doing here to where she is, but she's done everything from run Mel Tillis's theater out in Branson to...
No kidding, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's an incredibly talented lady.
Well, and she has costumes that are awesome, that are for rent. When my grandson Austin was in Wizard of Oz, they're in Virginia, I call Eleanor over there in Washington and say they need help. So Kathy goes and picks up all these costumes that are just perfect.
Right.
Eleanor's a genius when it comes to that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And she always was when they were living here, and her children are all very, very talented as well.
Dunbar is with Second City Comedy, and of course Pauline is doing all the choreography for a lot of big events. So yeah, they're very involved.
Yeah, very involved, and that's great that she is donating and dedicating some of her skills to help folks who are not quite as privileged as others.
Exactly. And I think every little community needs something like that. I wonder if we do that ourselves here.
Well,
enough. We need to.
Never enough.
Never enough.
So where does Eleanor live now?
Washington.
Washington, okay.
I think it's Washington. I know she does a lot of work there.
Yeah.
With Washington University and some other things.
Right.
Oh, there's a lot going on. There's this Diamond Studied thing this weekend.
Studied evening on Saturday at the
Barefoot
Country
in the
Club.
Park. There's Manchester's auditioning for Little Women tonight.
What if you're a big woman?
Well, I think it's possible that you can
get a part.
Yeah. Anyway,
so it's not talking about size.
Yeah.
That's right. Little Women is a
Little Women.
It's
It's been made into a musical, and Noel Clements is directing. And
John, you need to be careful over where you're going with a whole line of thought.
And,
I'm just having fun.
I know, and there's stuff going on everywhere.
Just having fun for
And I
that's
hope
all.
that there'll be people that'll come out on February 15th in Bell Buckle at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall. Our band will be there to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
Yeah. You need to
For?
get a Valentine for your pretty wife. And you too.
Now, like you think I will.
I know. You will. You will. Roses and chocolates. Chanel.
We'll see.
Yeah, are you the one that bought your wife a vacuum cleaner one time for a special event?
You never got over it.
Didn't you? Hadn't you? That and the electric skillet were my two worst purchases. So, hey, I'll tell you what we did do the other day, though. We found out that the Barnum and Bailey circus train was coming through Tullahoma.
Did you get pictures?
And I went and filmed some of the circus train, and we're going to close the show with the circus train coming through Tullahoma.
And Chris Sullivan was on it.
At about 55 miles an hour.
And Chris is from Manchester.
Yeah, last year it actually stopped here.
Yeah, it stopped.
Wouldn't it be fun if it would stop and they'd get off and clown around?
Well, they were coming through pretty quick. And of course, with the temperature being what it was, they had the animals all put away and everything like that. So that's how we're going to close the show today, folks. Thanks for being with us, and we will see you next time on Just Plain Living. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're downtown Tullahoma in the parking lot across from Couches and Daddy Billy's. And what we're doing down here today is we're waiting on the Barnum and Bailey circus train to come through town. It comes through Tullahoma every now and then on a trip to the north, and they've left Birmingham and they're headed this way. And we're going to see if we can see the circus train in Tullahoma.